understand what the price is going to be for those. Get to know the niche inside and out by talking with the owners and this kind of stuff. Now, at that point, when you've got those filled up, now you're ready to go, cool. I'm going to go and take this exact working model with clients already in it, and I'm going to expand this thing out to 25 to 50 cities. That would be a good time to start thinking about, okay, maybe I want to do what Chris is suggesting with the different IP addresses through host 9 and kind of hiding your tracks a bit. That would be a good time to do it. When you're just starting out, if you feel it's too overwhelming, don't. Just put it all in one shared hosting and just go for it. Your most important thing is getting clients. So I hope that makes sense. I need to reiterate that more in the training area because I don't want people to get too caught up in that in the beginning, although I don't hear a lot of people saying that, but I kind of sense that may happen. I think that may kind of slow people up a bit, and I think the creating of the site does. And I don't want anything to slow any of you guys down or gals at all. So if you've got issues with with how we're setting up our sites and how we teach you and you're getting stuck somewhere, contact my support. I've got trained people on that are more than qualified to help you out, and would be more than happy to say, if you're like, geez, I can't figure out how the heck to get how do I get my posts in the footer like what Chris is showing here. I just can't figure it out even though I've watched the training videos. No problem. Send it in. If you want to give us access to your site, my people will go in and make a short little video to show you how they did it so that you know how to do it, and they'll do it for you so next time you can do it yourself. We don't want you to be slowed down by any of that kind of stuff. That's just not, for me, that's not acceptable. I've seen that in the past. People give up because of that, and just don't, man. I'm telling you, you pick out your niches, do this, get them in a couple cities, get them figured out, and then you just McDonaldize it. You expand it out. You're just going to be, trust me, just hang with it. It's so worth it. And likewise, don't get caught up with the whole kind of ninja stuff that I do with kind of hiding my tracks with the sites. You don't need to worry about that in the beginning with your first few sites. When you've got 1,000 sites out there and those are all your money sites, yeah, it's probably a good thing to get started doing that earlier on that end of it, so there's not such a connection there. But anyway, so I hope I answered your question, and it helped me address something that I've been wanting to express to the group. All right. Cool beans. We're almost done with the slides, and my voice lasts about 2 hours or so. So we're a little bit ahead of track here. I feel like we're doing good. So if you got some questions that are pending in the question box, I'm going to dive into those in just a second here. Let's see here. Let's take a quick drink. Alrighty. I have a site sitting on spot number 1. And I'm only getting about 3 or 4 calls, or I'm only getting about 1 call, about 3 or 4 calls per week. All right, let's put it that way. So let's say we're getting about 4 calls a week. It's on page 1. City population is 2,000. The niche is auto repair. Okay, good. Cool. Okay, so this is from Rick on here, and let me just copy and paste. This is what auto repair Spokane. I would never think of this niche. That's not a bad thing at all. There's so many niches out there. It's unbelievable. So auto repair Spokane. Let me go back into here, which I think would be pretty lucrative. I'm surprised that the domain name is available. That's pretty shocking. Okay, auto repair Spokane. So that's Spokane, Washington. Alrighty, let's see what we've got here. So again, I'm logged into the account, which you just do with your Gmail account, and it just allows you to get the prices. I like to get the prices on here, and auto repair Spokane. Whoa. Okay, so there's some pretty serious searches here, which is awesome, and I'm extremely surprised that you got an exact match domain, top level. which is totally cool. There is no reason, right? Well, you're already getting call volume. You're just not getting maybe the call volume that you're thinking about. Okay, so let's just say worst case scenario. Based on the prices here, I'm just going to just kind of really dumb down this really quickly, and this would be like a worst case scenario. Hold on, I want to see. I'm going to click on Google here. I want to see where you're standing. Hopefully you're in position number 1. Hell yeah, right there, number 1. Okay, cool. Alrighty, so good. So let's just break it down, kind of worst case scenario here. 4 calls a week, live calls, okay. And let's just say that it's an auto mechanic. They're charging, what is Google charging? $6 for Exact Match. So Exact Match goes up in price. And this is a live call, and come on, in the days when I've had, older cars and had to take them in, man, it is always going to be $500, $600, $700, $800, $1,000. I don't know if that's the case with everybody, but I know auto mechanic is pretty lucrative business. Anyways, so you've got a live phone call. This is not a click. This is a live phone call. So I would automatically assume worst case scenario, $10. And this is worst case scenario, and this is $10 that you're going to pay per call, no matter if you answer it or not. Forget the qualified part. We're going to treat it exactly like Google pay-per-click. Okay, there's no qualifying, and so that's going to be 4 times 10. And then times 4 weeks. So that's $160. It's not going to make you independently wealthy at all. But I haven't checked the Exact Match domains, but I just want to kind of run through an exercise here. And Spokane, Washington is not the biggest city either. Okay, and a population of 200,000 is not that big. But let's say that you were able to find some top-level domains in 35 other cities. So now it gets interesting. Now that's $5,600 per week times 4 weeks. That's 200. That's a little over $20,000 per month. Now things get really interesting. That's like game changer money. Okay, that will change your life forever. So the reason that I gave that kind of scenario there was I wanted to kind of drive home the point that, look, he's on page 1. Okay, it's in the best position possible. When we show you how to add the Google plus here, adds a little picture on that. It's going to stand out more. So you should, you won't get less clicks. You'll definitely get more clicks. That means you're just going to get more phone calls on that. And with the worst kind of what I would consider more of a worst case scenario, you're able to take this and get on position 1 quickly. It's part of the strategy here, is that you're finding kind of these low-hanging fruits that have still got the top-level Exact Match domains. You're making it work in a few cities, and you got it kind of all kind of tweaked out, and it's like, okay, now I'm ready to go out to 35, 50, 25 cities. And even if one side is only getting 3 or 4 phone calls per week, this stuff adds up. Okay, it really adds up when you start to expand it out there. And I think that some of us may tend to get kind of caught up in the, okay, I got 5 little baby sites here, and they're going to be on my income. No, we want to think leverage the masses. How do we get out there? How do you do that? The auto repair and get them out in 35 cities, and each one is bringing in a couple $100 a month, and then we bust out into another niche, right? And then we repeat the process, and now we've got we've got $15,000-$20,000 coming in a month, and then we bust out and we do that with another niche, and now we've got another we now double that income over time as we expand and grow out. I mean, this takes work, but these are assets. You own these things. I guarantee you, you do nothing to this site for the next 5 years, it's going to still be there on page 1. I mean, this is worth something huge. This is like this is real estate. So anyways, I digressed here. Let me get back to the question so I make sure that I answer your question. And thank you very much for sharing this with the group. You gave permission on here to do that. That's why I did it. And anyone who calls in with mails in with questions and they say, please do not share this with the group, I would never share it with the group. So we're very sensitive to that kind of stuff. On here, I would imagine in some of the larger cities, some of the other more niche-y kind of auto repair stuff would be like Pacific Models, like maybe. I'm not in this niche. I'm just throwing stuff out there, but like maybe foreign car auto repair plus the city name, and then you've got kind of a larger city like Chicago. So then you start segmenting out into the various little sub-regions out there, right? Because someone's not, someone who lives in Aurora, Illinois, which, if someone asks them where they live, they say we live in Chicago, but they don't. It's actually probably a 20-minute drive into Chicago with traffic even more. They're not going to want an auto mechanic in Chicago, so you want to add those subsidies to increase the call volume. I mean, you might have different clients in there and so on and so forth. And very easy to add different phone numbers for those, by the way. But there's a lot of sub niches right here, right? Because if I've got a foreign car, like maybe a BMW or an Audi or a Fiat or I don't know. Or a Mercedes, I know that there's a whole classification of people out there that will never take it to the dealership because the dealership charges $180 per hour. And anyways, I know that. So, but there's qualified technicians that will do the same work for half that price, and so that's where people look online for this kind of stuff. And auto repair is a little bit generic, but the searches are there, man. And maybe in a little bit larger cities, you might want to look at kind of sub-niching these things out too, into foreign cars, BMWs, and stuff. Anyways, I think you've got a good site here. I think you've got some good stuff. I would be curious to know what your analytics are as far as how many searches you're getting, how many unique visitors are you getting per month or per week, and then compare that with how many calls you're getting. So let's, I can't remember if we've taken a look at the site or not. Let's take a look at it. Okay, all right. Okay, so alrighty, so we've got now I'm a little biased, but I would want this site to look a little bit more like at least kind of try